Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 61 until I am a YouTube millionaire. Today, I want to talk about particularly rarefied cases of human individuals. All right? I need to do this because I'm one of those individuals myself. All right? And I need to bring it up so that people know what they're dealing with if they seek to build some type of a relationship, whether it be friendship or otherwise, with me. I'm an extremely intelligent individual. I've got an IQ of 187, which puts me in like the top 30 smartest people on the entire face of the planet. I'm very, very, very smart. I don't say that to boast about it. It's neither good nor bad. It's just a thing. And I have certain capacities that other people don't necessarily have, right? And the reason I bring this up, though, is because when you're in a rarefied field like this, whether it be intelligence, physical attractiveness, economic worth, or any number of other things, then if you're trying to find people with whom you can relate, you have to cast a very wide net, okay? So, I am quite the lonely person. You might not suspect this because I can be rather gregarious when talking to large groups of people, and generally speaking, I'm pretty well spoken. But it's similar to a quote that I had heard in my favorite movie of all time, What Dreams May Come. To be alone in a sea of faces. Okay? And when I find certain individuals that are also rarefied in that specific regard, there has to be a rather wide net. Okay? Talking about the female species. So, one, if I want to actually find somebody who is at least remotely close to me in that regard, distance cannot be an object. It simply cannot. And two, age, so long as the individual is over the age of 21, cannot be an object either. Otherwise, the likelihood of you finding that special someone is drastically diminished. So, I don't expect to find that special squeeze who is, as bright as I am or what have you, but I can pick up on when somebody is particularly high in that. All right, I can see it. All right? It's not very hard to see for pretty much anybody. But they'll also find in their own lives, I can say this with certainty, that they have their own levels of isolation. Now, because you're trying to find somebody who can bond with you on that level, you have to have a wider berth, in that maybe you don't have all of the same philosophies just yet. Maybe some of them you never will necessarily meet eye to eye on. You don't necessarily need to. But you have to allow yourself to have a broader perspective. I might be a really bright guy, but there's a lot of stuff I do not know. The amount of stuff I do not know is infinitely greater than the small amount of stuff that I do know. So, yeah, distance can be no object. Age, for the most part, can be no object, especially if you want lots of kids. All that stuff. Another thing that you might also want to consider, and why I bring this up so often, and why it's also brought up with Robert Heinlein, is the potentiality that you may find multiple people all at once. Sorry, guys, I got a little bit of sniffles going on. That seems to be the way it's always happened in my life. I find, or they come into my life, one particular female individual who's like, whoa, that's a special person. I want to get to know them. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 other women pop up at the exact same time. They couldn't have come later. They couldn't have come earlier. They have to come at the same time every single time. But if you're one of those people that is so rarefied, it's incumbent upon you to give the gift of yourself to the rest of the world. Don't be a tragic case like Chris Langan, one of the smartest people on the face of the planet who has no kids. His wife is also one of the smartest people on the planet. I think her IQ is like 170 something. And she has no kids. You will have idiocracy happen naturally if the smartest people in the world do not have children. And you'll have nobody to think of new hypotheses that can think in hypotheticals. You'll be stuck where you are as a civilization. Now, I only use the intelligence aspect as one aspect. There are an infinite plethora of others. It could be that your physiology is such that you need a specific type of person. And if that's the case, you pounce on other people the moment you find them. It's like, oh, this guy is single at 35, and XYZ, you know, crap, I better not let this guy get away from me. Or this woman is, single and a virgin at 28 years old or whatever. I can't let her get away from me. I gotta jump on this immediately. So, work smarter and work harder when you're in a rarefied field. It's neither good nor bad. It's neither fair nor unfair. It's just life. I know women who are of that ilk, who need to have a wider perspective on it. See, when we were how should I put this? When we were small communities, right, back thousands of years ago, when we were in tribes that were between 150 to 300 people normally, that is basically the maximum number of people that an average person can actually know face to face. Like, I know that you, I don't know, that your favorite food is pizza or something, or your favorite color's blue. I know you on a personal level. That's called the Dunbar's number, right? And I was looking this up because I had brought this concept up in a previous video where I was talking about communism only being possible in communities of 300 people or less. And it's because of this. You have to be able to know the person personally, have a vested interest in their life and their success in order to not take advantage of them. If you're blind to who and what they are, then you're going to take advantage of them. It's just human nature. Well, in those small, tight-knit communities, if you had somebody that was extremely brilliant, the likelihood is they would be ostracized and probably would have passed on without having any children. We live in a new world of possibilities now, where our reach is greater than it ever has been. But if you are a person like me, you need to take advantage of that reach. Vet yourself as much as you possibly can so that other people can understand why they see you in a certain way, even if they can't see it consciously. They'll see it subconsciously, but not consciously. Like, there's this one woman I'm thinking of. She probably doesn't even know she's a genius, but she's a genius. I estimate from watching her videos, and this is tough to do, it's tough to estimate it, because when you're at that level, you're really, really far off from the normal person. I would estimate her IQ is somewhere between 145 and 160, maybe even higher than that. She is an incredibly intelligent woman, and she doesn't even know it. Or very minimally knows it. She wants to be a surgeon, or she did. And I don't think she is fully grasping just how wide of a berth she has to give herself, how big of a net she needs to cast if she wants to, find somebody who actually will meet her where she is. And then another woman who is a very, very pleasant young lady on a different social media platform who actually does talk. She's not just there to be a pretty face or to be a content farm or anything. She actually is pleasant and wants to talk. And she's also very rarefied. And then there's, I could name them, X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to name them like the actual specific person, but what I'm saying is, when you're in those rarefied fields, I cannot emphasize this enough, you need to cast a wide net. You just have to, unless you don't want to be happy, unless you want to be by yourself for the rest of your life. Now, I want to have a metric crap ton of kids. I'll let you decide for yourself. You know my background, things I talk about. How you think I'm going to be able to pull that off? Or if I will at all be able to. Anyways. I just wanted to bring that up, let you guys know about me. I have to vet myself as much as possible so you know what you're dealing with. Yeah, I'm very flexible in many ways. Many, many ways. What I want is love. What I want is emotional bonding. Romantic love. The physical aspect is nice. I love that, and I definitely want that. But it's not the most important thing to me. What matters to me is the bond between you and me. That's what I care about. Because when I say you matter, I mean it. So anyways, that's all I got for today. I got a lot more to talk about on this topic later, but that's what I've been able to muster up from my mind. So y'all have a good day. Love y'all. Peace.